Yes, people, and welcome back to Normski TV and the What's Going On podcast. We're here today to talk all things football and what a weekend it has been. Some interesting stuff going on throughout the football world. What is going on in the football world? And no doubt we'll be touching on the Man City saga. Obviously, we're going to be looking at the Premier League, the fallout from the Premier League. Also, a bit of ref watch, and we'll go through the schedule. Chile and Kofi will be on a little bit later. Ez might join us. They've got busy schedules at the moment, but I've still got Mr. Big D waiting in the back room. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and share if you're new. As I keep saying, on the road to 300. And let me introduce Mr. Big D. And let me just first of all say hello to Mr. Scott Kirk, all the way in New Zealand.
Yeah, man, like Scott.
Talking to us in the future, I believe. Good that you could join us today. There's so much to be talking about concerning the weekend. Arsenal, the fallout from Dice Ball, Casemiro. I think he likes living. I think his favourite song group is called the Stranglers. I think D.
Listen, I'm going to get into that.
We'll get into that. And there's so much more to talk about. So, guys, please smash that like button, please, and subscribe and share if you are new. Big D, let me first of all ask you how you're doing before I go into our schedule tonight. And as I say to people, myself and Dee will probably be holding the fort. Kofi and Chile will be on a bit later, and Ez might join us. They've got some other commitments, but hopefully a couple of them will join us tonight. But Big D, how are we going?
Yeah, I'm doing well, Noms. Doing well, man. Yeah. It's weather dipped again, which ain't great.
Yeah.
But so I've had some dodgy nights out on the road, as you can imagine. But apart from that, all right, mate. Yeah.
Up in the Hamptons, was it a little bit foggy? Foggy up there?
Yeah, yesterday that fog dropped deep, man. And it dropped to about -2 or so as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to be on the road in this. This is mad.
Yeah.
But needs must. We got to do what we got to do.
Got to earn our bucks, man.
As they say, keep the wolf at the door.
But saying that, just before we go into talking about bucks and earning your bucks and earning your living, D. And we will get into the Man City saga. One thing I was reading, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's going to be representing Man City. Do you know what he charges a day?
I read it. 80 grand a day, bro.
80.
That took me out, you know.
That took me out. 80. I had to sit down and say, well, hold on. They said that's about the same amount of what De Bruyne earns.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
80. D, listen to what I'm saying.
400 grand a week.
D, £80,000 a day. We don't get that in a year, mate.
It really has you scratching your head, right? Because you look at industries, you look at corporate worlds, and the gap is mad. If that's what now, albeit this guy's supposed to be top draw lawyer. He's the lawyer that got them off with the initial stuff. You know, that went through. Your wafer and stuff. That's who they hired. So obviously, you know, he's done a good job for them the first time round, and he's up to his money, Norms. You know, but 80k a day, I was like, what are you doing for that, bro? Or what are you not doing for that? More to the point.
I mean,
it's absolute insanity, isn't it?
And you know the worst thing about, the thing about this is that this guy he's going to be, the players will revolt and ask for a pay rise. Laugh out loud.
They will.
Yes, listen, man. Yeah, it's mad. I
didn't know that the run was on 400 grand either.
Nor did I. So they revealed that as well. Yeah. I wonder if that was coming. I wonder if he's been paid from an offshore account or something. Is there another business out there paid?
He has, mate.
Roberto Mancini was getting paid. Not directly from Man City. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Plus 100 charges, mate.
Yeah.
If they get found out guilty, mate, we're talking about either expulsion, deduct points. I mean, I don't think it will happen this season.
Yeah.
But go on.
If you look what Pep said in his statement, he said he meets and he asks regular questions. And he said, if they've lied to me about cooking the book, I'm going to walk. He said
that was back in May. He said that.
Yeah.
He said that back in May.
So now this has been surfacing on different platforms, different Instagram and Twitter and stuff. Saying,
and I mean, this came out on the Premier League thing. So this wasn't like We heard about leaked emails and stuff like that. Yeah. But this is unprecedented stuff that we're hearing right now. Going back to the 2009-10 season up until 2018.
Yeah, but you see what they done to my second team. They just swung the axe on them points. Yeah, and had them very close to their relegation.
You're talking about that. They've done that with Juventus. Yeah,
exactly.
But a few seasons ago, Juventus got relegated, didn't they?
That's right. Yeah.
Whatever they were doing, right?
Yeah.
And
similar things, cooking the books.
Similar things. I mean, there was one thing they were talking about that the grass was too long. That's one of the breaches. But listen, there are more serious things in terms of what they. I would say after 4 years they will be very confident they have them tied in knots. I mean, the thing with this QC guy or this barrister guy, I mean, if he could make this rumble on for years. Do you know what I'm trying to say? He's got them off of the UEFA thing. Yeah. You know, if he's charging that kind of money, he's going to take them through the courts. And how long this whole process will take? They've been charged. We know they've been charged. Is now whether they're going to be found guilty of all of these, these charges and breaches. And Man City came out. I remember when the whole unfolded, Man City came out and were very surprised. Now, I would have thought they would have come out a little bit more frightened and say, "Now we deny all of this. This ain't true, and our books are in order." Blah blah blah. But it's the way they kind of come out and said, "I'm very surprised that they've come to this conclusion because this thing has been going on." This investigation has been going on for about 4 or 5 years, if not longer.
Yeah, but I think as well, Norm, the process that was used before, and I can't remember the way they worded it now, they can't use that process to get off this time.
No, they can't go through cash. They can't go through cash no more.
Exactly, that's it. So you look at that, and so you have to kind of wonder, is there a level of...
Big up, Root Calls.
Yes, Root Calls, how you doing, man? You have to wonder whether the FA have a bigger agenda here, because there's certain things that we see in football, we see with the VAR, and you say, I'd love to sit in on a meeting, fly on the wall, and listen to some of these briefings, because I think there's a lot of backhandedness, not just with Man City. I think most of the big clubs are a little dirty.
First of all, let's Big D. I'll let you take this honor, mate. I'll let you take this honor. From Craig.
Big up Craig, big up Tiana. Happy 11th birthday for tomorrow. And stay blessed.
Stay blessed. And Craig, buy her everything she wants. Everything that she wants. Tiana, tell him to go out and buy everything he wants, yeah? No pressure, Craig. No pressure. Happy birthday, Tiana. Have a lovely 11th birthday. Have a 11th birthday. Yeah, so you're saying.
Yeah, so you always, I think there's no club without some kind of blemish, but it's like anything. When you have good accountants, your good accountant is supposed to protect you from this stuff. But if they've gone too far, and you don't even know if someone's been disgruntled, been let go by the club, and decided I'm going to be a bit of a whistleblower here as well, and just leak some stuff to send a couple of stray emails from a burner account and things like that. You know it all goes on. So it wouldn't surprise me if someone has leaked some offshore business that maybe the FA weren't aware of, and rightly so. I don't think these sheikhs are going to have all their business out in the street like that. But there was a point, I think it was with Emirates, where it's like they bought shares into Emirates or something, and the Emirate just threw the shares back in money, and it was like, you can't do that, bro. That's the sponsor, and there was all kind of little things coming out, and you were thinking,
I've heard.
wow,
I mean, even they've got like these businesses set up in uptown and whatever.
Yeah, there's shell companies everywhere now.
Yeah, I'm like, And the thing about this is really serious. I mean, you know, when it dropped, my son rang me and said, Dad, Man City could get points deducted and relegated. And I'm so, where are you reading all this? Where are you reading all of this? Like, yeah, you're right here. I find it's pointless, you know, to Man City.
Exactly. Exactly.
You've got to hit them where it hurts. And the top, you know, we're hearing that the top 6 sides want them to be expelled from the league. You know,
this is the thing, though, as well. They're talking about in that period, what, 2006 to 2009 or 10, they want about awarding the second place team the Premier League. I mean, that's heavy.
Well, if you think about it, I think if that was the case, I think you would have won. Is it 2 or 3 Premier Leagues?
2, I think 2. One with Oli and one with Mourinho.
Right. And so
I'll be embarrassed, actually.
You've got what? How many titles you got? 20 Premier League titles.
20, yeah.
Right. So I think you would have had 3. There was 3 times where under Mourinho, where you came second. Under
definitely a second under Oli.
Yeah, Oli second, and there was who was that guy?
I don't know if Van Gaal was it Van.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I
think it would work out that you would have 23. But I think Liverpool would have had, I think, 2, if my memory serves me right.
So
but
they said that it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they said it'd be a bit of a mess going back and awarding, you know, because it's like that's gone. I get it, you know what I mean. Yeah. Then you're talking about people that got relegated. You know, people are going to be...
Yeah, it's a whole can of worms, isn't it?
It's the whole can of worms.
Yeah. I didn't think about the relegation, you know. Because, you know, because every team that lost twice to Man City could turn around and say, they only won because they cheated us.
Yeah.
Typical United. It's our title now. That's Scott. This is what someone said to me. And I thought, I'd actually be embarrassed because they'd have huge aspirates over their titles one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but then teams that lost heavily to Man City and got relegated because say, they cheated. They bought players they couldn't really afford. That's why they beat us. When in fact, they probably would have beat you anyway.
Because Mancini, I've heard that Mancini was being paid, but was getting paid even more than what was being declared.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So there's that. I mean, I saw that was one of the breaches. Obviously, you know, I said banter. The grass was too long, but that's even there or there. Do you know what I was going to say? But you know, because it goes against FIFA regulations and whatever. But it's crazy. And the thing is, as you say, some people are even saying that Pep probably does know, but do you know what I mean? He would come out and say that, make that statement. He goes, I've spoken with them, and if they are lying to me, I will walk. That's what he said. I will walk.
Yeah. Because I suppose with Pep, I see where Pep's coming from in the sense of he doesn't like Pep's about Pep, regardless of what Man United do. So Pep's saying, like, if this is true, you're messing with my legacy. Because everywhere I've gone, I've won. I mean, obviously, he's only won the Champions League with Messi, so he's never won a Champions League without having a Messi. But as in titles, domestic cups, and everything else, and you know, he's competed well and he's won. So if they want to just when Pep came and Pep, what's Pep won now? 4 out of 5 of the last Premier Leagues.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You start wiping that away. That's really damaging him as a coach as well. So I'm not going to say he would, but he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would want to win in a backhanded way because his chest is high. So we want to say, no, fair and square. Everybody was fit. We all had injuries, and I won. But if they say, well, no, you financially were allowed to cheat to get that upper hand to bring in players that you really couldn't have brought in under the fair play rule and all that, then I think he wouldn't want that ugliness on his resume. That he managed a club that was murky and dirty and won 4 titles in that time. So it's going to be interesting.
I mean, Scott made a point about Wenger warning us all. Wenger always went on about this, and I think at the time, people might have thought that he was being like jealous because the likes of Chelsea, you know, Man City, these lots of money, you know, being pumped in, and I think Wenger was all about living within the means. I suppose a bit like Man United. You know what I mean? What you earn, you spend, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
And that's how we were before the Glazers, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. We weren't spending money that we didn't have.
Yeah.
Under the Irish owners. So.
Yeah. And this is regularly talking about this financial doping. I mean, even Mourinho spoke about it as well. I don't know if it was when he was managing Tottenham, and he was sort of saying, look, how can I manage, this club? I'm not getting the finance. You look at the sort of mad spend that Man City are doing, and it's like, well, how do I compete with it? And I think the season when he came second, he had a reason for saying he had a reason for saying what he said. This is the best season ever. And people were looking at him thinking, and what he's basically trying to say is that I've got to work within my means. With the players that I've got, I'm not getting any support from the Glazers, because obviously they're just taking and filling their pockets. And so I've got to compete against a juggernaut. I'm driving a little three-wheeler Robin Reliant or something. I'm not saying that I'm comparing Man United to Robin Reliant. No. In terms of money, do you know what I mean? Because if the Glazers weren't taking out that kind of money and were investing, you would probably you got me. You're one of the richest clubs in the world. You know what I mean? So he has a point. He has a very big point.
And if they really do go after them, I think it's going to muddy the water so badly, Norm.
Yeah.
That I think if you go after Man City, you have to go after the whole league, and basically the FA would have to hire independent auditors / accountants, and they just roll up at these club head offices, and they literally goes through the books. And if it takes 2 months to do every club, so be it. And then you expose them one by one. So it's.
So, question from Scott here: what's your thoughts on the United sale? What's happening? Any more news? I mean, with Jim Ratcliffe, is it Jim Ratcliffe or John Ratcliffe? I can't remember the guy's name. Is it Jim Ratcliffe?
I think it's Jim, isn't it? Jim, yeah. You see with the Jim thing, because of what needs to be done to the club, right? As in, even if he says, right, I'm going to buy the club, is he going to properly invest in the club? As in the infrastructure, the stadium, the training ground, the ladies' facilities, the academy. It's not just a case of I'm buying Old Trafford, because, and not only that, you're going to inherit that billion debt as well. Because I'm sure the Glazers are not going to clear that loan debt, even though it's their loan. But that's another thing. That's another thing, because that's independent loans from the bank. But the Qatari family that are more than keen. They're talking about investing 8 to 10 billion, which includes the revamp of the stadium and stuff. These guys are worth 335 billion, Norm. Are you mad? Like, it sounds like monopoly money. It really does. It's like, how much are you worth? So for them to spend 8 to 10 billion out of that 335 billion, it's like, man, that's like 100 grand, isn't it? Like in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like, well, spend 100 grand on Man United. So, me personally, Scott, I'd rather go with the Qatar, because they're already talking about investing in the whole infrastructure of the club, not just buying the club and strengthening the first team and all the rest of it. It's a whole, it's a whole circuit. It's a mess. So it needs a whole revamp. So if your pockets are not deep enough to just, it's no point saying, oh yeah, I bought Man United and just let it stay how it is, because it needs to get up to speed. I'm not saying we're going to go state of the art like Tottenham, because if we do that, that would be a case of knocking down Old Trafford or keeping Old Trafford and building something across the street or whatever, and then like what like Highbury, like Highbury turned into a bit of a yuppie posh flats now, didn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe Old Trafford turns into some state of the art hotel, and you get a brand new stadium across the street from it, something like that. But
with the sort of money the Qataris, I suppose that should be a problem.
No, it shouldn't. No.
Maybe I don't know about the logistics. It could be the logistics of the whole thing.
But apparently, there is that United do own land. It's where the old train station was. If the train station is still there, I remember it was a train station right either to the side or at the back of one of the stands, and they own all of that land there. So Old Trafford could be knocked and expanded. You imagine Old Trafford, 100,000 seat stadium. That would be madness, isn't it? Because for me, that's curtains right there. If you pull a stunt like that and build £100,000, 100,000 seater stadium in Manchester.
Okay, let me just introduce Mr. Kofi. You never walk alone. He doesn't want to use Kofi Klopp no more. When we were asking that question, why? Let me add him to the stream. Welcome, Kofi, to the panel.
Walk on, with hope in your heart.
And you never walk alone. You never walk
Kofi.
alone.
Gentlemen.
How you doing, brother? How you doing?
Singing. Thank you very much. I'm good, bro. I'm good. No.
My brother, how are we?
Yeah, very well, thank you. It's a little bit chilly out there, but wait.
Mate.
Yeah, we were talking about that. How are you doing, first of all, Kofi? How's one doing?
Yeah, seen better days, but we give thanks. Always.
Yeah.
Always. You're okay up there. You're okay up there, yeah? Everything's good. Everything's good.
My head is burning.
Everything's good. Kofi, big up to you from Craig.
That's great.
He's also Scott Kirk in the future in New Zealand saying Wolves that laugh. Scott said, do you know if Old Trafford can be upgraded? Another quick question for D.
Yes, Scott. This is what I was saying. They own the land, and I'm going to say behind the stadium because I can't remember which stand it's behind now. It has like a train station there. Apparently, they bought that land anyway, so maybe so they could extend backwards and to the side, and maybe the train station becomes a tram. Because a lot of people catch the train or the tram to Old Trafford now because the parking around there is horrendous. You know what I mean? By the time, 70,000 people trying to get into a stadium, plus all the people that work for the stadium. So it wouldn't surprise me if they try and redevelop. I would like them to redevelop Old Trafford rather than walking away from it. I think the history is so rich that it's something that would appeal to me. But then, it's going to be Greater Manchester Council and all the rest of it. Everybody will get involved. I'm sure there's already contractors already waiting to get the nod. You know what I mean? If this sale goes through.
Yeah,
so
I was going to say,
I'm with the Qataris, bro. I'm shamelessly with the Qataris.
Are we? Is there any kind of timeline with this?
Well, the thing is, if you look at the way it's accelerated, right? I think when we were on the other day, and I think Jason was saying, to me, "Oh, you sure they're going to try and do it in that time?" But I think the Glazers, because they can't get investors, they are sinking. So the younger Glazers want their money, and the bank want them to start paying back the loan, and they got no money. So they're between a rock and a rock, not even a hard place. They're just between a rock and a rock. So because no one said, "Okay, here you go. Here's 500 million to invest in the club," they have to sell.
Yeah,
I think they have to sell now. Yeah. They've run it.
So do you think this sale? Do you think this sale will likely come before the season is over, or will it come during? Because the summer is going to be massive for you guys.
Yeah, well,
in terms of
I'm hearing Easter.
spending.
I'm hearing Easter. By Easter, obviously they're going to have to alert the stock exchange. All these kind of things are going to have to happen before they pull the trigger. But I think and I said this months ago, if they got the investors, they don't sell this club. They don't know them. They keep the club. But because because everyone knows what they're doing, say, hold on, so I'm going to come invest in your club. You're going to keep skimming off 20 million every quarter.
Yeah, no, they need to sell it.
Yeah, man. And so I think they've been sussed out, and they kind of know it. Listen, man, they've rode away for 17 years now. Like, you're going to have to clap them a little bit because, man, that's mad business, that every quarter for 17 years you've been skimming a nice slice of the pie. Yeah. And not clearing that initial debt that you put on the club. Yeah. Like I say, that 500 and I think it was about 550 million is now close to $1 billion that they haven't been chipping away at, even when we've been making money. And before that, we were self-sufficient. We were making the money from all the different sponsorships and just the globe branding in general. 70,000 every home game, plus whatever we get in a home tie. I know the home tie usually gets split between the clubs and all that, but we were making money to sustain ourselves without them lumping that debt on. So a debt-free club that is in heavy debt, I'm like, good, because I think their greed has run out in the sense of you can't be greedy now. Hence why we were just loaning players in January. Couldn't buy a single player in January with all the injuries we got now. Oh yeah, get him on loan. Get this one on loan. Can we get that one on loan? Yeah, we're trying.
Yeah.
And I think we got a little bit lucky in the sense. I mean, I would have liked a better striker than Weghorst, but he's better than not having a striker or forcing Rashford to go and play there. So yeah, it's
okay. So there's a question from Craig to Kofi here. He goes, Kofi, will Klopp get fired or will he walk away at the end of the season? Just before you answer that, Kof, just want to go back to what's the name that was put in there in the chat. And that's from Craig about we'll probably come onto this when we talk about the Premier League review and the player ratings. Pep, I don't know what's going on in terms of the stuff that's going on off the field and on the field, and is he feeling the pressure? Because there's something, and I think Gary Neville came out and said there's something not quite right about Man City, even to the point where Gary Neville was even saying now he's not too sure now whether Man City can go on and win the league. So he's now kind of almost saying Arsenal now stand a very good chance, whereas before he was saying, yeah, Man City will win this league by 10, 15 points. Now he's saying there's something not quite right with this team. The changes that he made in that game against Tottenham, where he left De Bruyne on there, but we will talk about that when we come to that, Craig. But yeah, there ain't something quite right. And let me just first of all big up to Junior. How you doing, bro?
Yes, Junior.
Just bigging up to everyone. Big up to yourself, man. And I know you always say hello to the chat as well. So yeah, go ahead and do that, my friend. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's tackle this one. And just before Kofi does tackle this one, I forgot to just sort of go through, obviously, my schedule tonight. And obviously, we are going to be doing Premier View, player ratings, a bit of ref watch. Outclassed, outmuscled by Dice Ball, can the Gunners bounce back? And Bob the Builder or Klopp the Builder? That's a question for the chat and for you, Kofi. And any other business, cheats never prosper. We've kind of sort of delved into that a little bit in terms of what Man City have been doing. So we've kind of covered that. And obviously the last one will be the What's Going On Predictions League Game Week 21. We'll tackle that. But let's get back to the point in question. And that's, yes, Kofi, will Klopp get fired? And I suppose the question again, Bob the Builder or Klopp the Builder? That's the question, mate. Which one is it, Bob or Klopp?
Oh, boy. Where do I start? Things just seem to be going bad to worse. And the more and more we get bad results. And listen, we got Everton this coming weekend. So,
derby.
Boy, like,
that's boys a huge derby, bro.
Boys need to turn up, or Everton gonna be laughing at us. You know, so Klopp might face the axe. He might face the axe. If we lose against Everton, he might face the axe.
You're playing at home. You're a very easy team to play against. There's a lot of stuff going on in your club, on and off the field. Klopp, he's done. Oh, is it over 7 years now? He's done with the club, or is he done? Is he done 7 years? Look what happened with Mans. Look what happened with Dortmund. I was reading up on the Dortmund saga, and it's kind of following the same sort of thread. Everything seems to be falling apart. He's losing players. People are injured. I mean, the last season when he left, he walked away from Dortmund. He didn't get sacked. He walked away because he couldn't compete with Bayern Munich because he had a lot of players being sold to Bayern Munich, and he just couldn't compete. So he said, you know what? That's it. 2015, I'm walking away. And I don't know if it was that season or the season after that he came to Liverpool.
No, it's that season, though.
That same season, right.
And this is unprecedented. A Man United fan actually backing a Liverpool manager.
See, the thing is, I don't know whether he can build a club any further than what he has.
Right.
I really don't. And the thing is, he's also, I don't know whether he has the backing of the dressing room in terms of players don't feel as if they want to play like to his way of playing, or the players are just not really adhering to how he wants to play, because we've been playing this way for such a long time, and players want to see a different tactic from Klopp. But
yeah, I mean, we're talking about Liverpool, and I suppose we got to look at what are the issues and the problem as to why Liverpool have fallen down so much. The team, as a question here from Scott, has Klopp ever done a complete team rebuild?
Nah, he hasn't. Not that I can remember. I mean, even with Dortmund, there's still some players in that team that there's probably one or two that still were under Klopp in that team.
So,
but
do you know how many players from 2015 are still in this 2022-23 squad?
Firmino, I think. Wow. I think Milner.
Yeah, definitely Milner.
So he was there before Klopp came in, Milner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was at Aston Villa, then came there. No.
No. He was.
If anybody knows, was when Klopp came to Liverpool, was Milner in the side, or did he leave from? Did he go from Man City to Liverpool, or was it Man City to Aston Villa?
From City.
It's from City.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was from City.
I thought it was at City. But Kofi, the whole Liverpool thing. Okay, this is Liverpool and Man City comparison. So this is net spend since the start of the 2015 and 16 season, right? Yeah. They're saying that his net spend has been 273 million, and he's won 5 major trophies. In that same time, City have spent 716 million and won 10 major trophies. So my question is, pundits and fans and that, are we being a little hard on Klopp? Because he spent a third of what Pepper spent, and he's literally won half the titles, spending a third of the money. As in five majors to 10. And I have to look at that and say, man, is he
there is context?
Yeah,
I mean, if we look at it, in context.
I mean, he's had to be resourceful in terms of how he goes about his business, and I mean, the owners were never really that group that were going to say, "Here, Klopp, take all the money you want to go and build a team."
Yeah.
So from the onset, Klopp came out and he was like, "Well, he's going to try and make us a team that believe again." But also he was looking at what the ownership were looking to do, and he was like, "Well, how am I going to build this team with my resources like this?"
But then Coutinho. Coutinho was there before Klopp came, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was there.
Right, so obviously Coutinho, during that period, I think he stayed 1 year before he got sold to Barcelona for 140 odd million, which was he was then able to then invest that into. Let me just add Chile to the conversation.
Once he sold Coutinho, he was able to build a proper spine in that team. Goalkeeper, Van Dijk, midfield, attacking.
He was only. How many players did he get from? He got Van Dijk for about.
He got Van Dijk and the goalkeeper.
Alisson. So
those were the two key areas that he needed to.
Yeah, those two positions were key because obviously, with Karius, that was in goal. Like, we were never going to win the Champions League with him. The 2017-2018 season, and we needed a proper defender, and Van Dijk was the answer at that time. But other than that, the ownership have really just taken sold players to get players, and Klopp has had to work with that throughout his 7 years. So, you can say for his achievements and not having this ample amount of money like Chelsea have, and I keep saying it, like Chelsea have always had, and Man City, he's done well. To be honest.
I mean, these brought up the fact net spend. You've looked at context in comparison.
Yeah,
Man City have spent 700 million net spend and won 10 trophies. Klopp in that period is 200 plus million, 5 trophies. Yeah. So
I mean, the major ones that you can say he should have won a couple more Premier Leagues, but you're challenging City, who had the strongest squad throughout.
Exactly.
Well, you could possibly have 2 Premier Leagues if Man City get their trophy, their titles taken away.
Why would we even consider that? Because it's gone, it's done.
And we were talking about that a little earlier. We were saying that I said to Norman that the teams that got beat by Man City twice in the league and got relegated, they're going to come out the closet and say, "Well, hold on, these lot cheated to beat us twice, even though you knew they were going to beat them anyway." But they have a valid case, and then the whole thing just literally gathers a snowball effect until you have an avalanche, and then the whole thing is a mess. You blow the whole league up because of one team. So it's a tough one.
And I mean, I put this up here. I've got this off of the Sky. If you look at Mo Salah's minutes per goal, look at 2022-23, 254 minutes per goal. Literally, I mean, I think the last 5-6 games he hasn't scored.
Salah looks like a lost sheep.
Right, and is that one of the problems of why you're not performing on the field? Is it just down to Mo Salah?
No.
Or is there other? Is it a? I mean, we know that in the midfield they've lost their legs. We're saying that now. Yes, injuries play a big part of that as well. But
the thing
Salah,
is,
he's your go-to man. He's your go-to man. And if you look at that,
guys like Firmino, Mane made Salah look good. They actually made Salah look really good, because if he's doing it on his own, he's really ordinary. You can see to his game. His game is flawed.
Yeah.
And the midfield has always needed addressing, probably after we won the league, and I don't know when that's going to happen, because this new ownership saga, I don't know when or how long it's going to go on for. So,
I mean, is your ownership looking more for investment as opposed to selling the club outright, like what Big D's club is? Or because the thing is, at the moment, I don't see any light down the tunnel right now concerning Liverpool selling their club. It would be nice, because I think you need some massive investment in on the pitch, and your midfield is suffering. Klopp is suffering, and I suppose somebody posed a question in the chat: is it, or I will pose that question: is it Bob the Builder or Klopp the Builder? Which one is it, Kofi? Can Klopp rebuild this club? Somebody asked that question. Can Klopp rebuild this team? Does he have the minerals to rebuild this team?
I think he's done, as I said, I think he's done what he can. And, it's just finding the players to fit into his system, because I don't feel he's going to be willing to change that kind of system. So he needs to find fresher, younger legs, and also look at that midfield and say, I want at least 2 creative players in there and 2 holding players, strong holding players.
But Kofi, and this is going back a couple of weeks, and you spoke about him literally dying on the sword of 4-3-3. There's no option B, there's no plan B or C. It's like he just keeps playing it, keeps trying to pick. Like, he hasn't got the players to play that now, yet he keeps playing it. And surely in training, you look at it and you say to yourself, man, my 4-3-3 ain't working with these guys. But every week he goes 4-3-3. And so
but then I think
like
also
the same thing over and over again. You know, they say that's the definition of madness. Keep doing expecting the same result, and you're not. You're just not getting the result because you don't have the clientele, i.e. your Genie and your Mane to play that 4-3-3 effectively. Yet he's still trying to play it without having the players that can play it.
But in other systems, that's another thing. He hasn't got like the players that he would like to play, maybe a 3-5-2 or go to 4-3-2-1. So it's the personnel as well as him trying to tactically change what he should be doing away from the 4-3-3. But that's another thing.
Yeah. But Robinson and Trent can play them wing backs.
Yeah,
it's more about who do you put in the three with Van Dijk. So you go Van Dijk, you go according Go Gomez. You go Gomez or what's the other one?
Kanate.
What's the other? Kanate. Like
he's injured. He's currently injured at the moment.
Yeah, okay, but do you play them in the back three and have Robinson and Trent pushing up? And
that would
change it up. Yeah, change it up.
That would work. But I also question, Klopp has never had a proper right back to cover Trent as well. Because let's say Trent gets injured. Now, Trent can't play every game, every season. Like, you need somebody to cover that position. And he's never had that. He's always put Milner right back.
I'm about to say that. Yeah.
And Milner with his legs, how long is he going to go on for this?
Yeah. How old is he? 38 now? 38?
37.
37. Right. Yeah, man.
And I heard that he's going to get an extended contract. Is that true?
Yeah, man. He's extended it for a year.
Man's always getting a 1 year, man.
Yeah.
Just put him in the coaching.
And he probably is doing a bit of coaching as well, to be fair, Kofi. He probably is helping out with the coaching because he's played so long, and you got to tip your hat to Milner. You know what I mean? Love him or hate him, that's a proper professional, as they would say, like old school professional that keeps himself. He's not chomping on pork pies every day and swigging beer. He's kept his body in a condition that at least he can still play give you something at the high level. I'm not saying play at the high level every week, but he can come off the bench and give you a solid 30 minutes. To see a game out,
But there's going to be a big sell-off, I think. Definitely midfield, like Naby.
Yeah, Naby will go. Naby will go. They're offering him a new contract. Firmino,
I don't know, because there's something not right. Like, how can you have such a massive drop-off from a player that was really good last season? And then now he doesn't really want to turn up.
Is it that, or they just ain't got the legs? I don't know. I mean,
no. There's something going on. I don't know what it is.
Are they playing for Klopp? What is it? I just can't put my finger on it.
Because remember
it's just that the other teams have found them out. Because you look at Wolves now. Let's take Wolves for instance. I couldn't believe it when my son said, "Come here, Dad. Come and have a look at this quick." And I said, "What?" It's like after 15 minutes, 12 minutes, you're 2-0 down. Your team, they said that your team, Liverpool's team, is the worst for conceding goals in the league in the first 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah,
early goals.
You can predict in every game we play, and I was like, in my spirit, I'm like, well, the opposition are going to score within the first 5 minutes, and I can predict that in every game Liverpool play. It's either they score within the first 5 minutes, or Liverpool take about 30 minutes before they score a goal. And we've seen this season by season. This is how Liverpool are, but it's deteriorating right now. And teams are looking and getting that first goal, and then we just capitulate, fall apart. So
this one's for Chile from Craig. Chile, apparently Beyonce will be using
I can read
as a changing room.
Let me start by saying, big up man like Junior. How you doing, Junior? Craig, what's the hostility about, man?
Yeah, man. Craig just chose violence
Already
just right now.
it. You got to get up early to get me with a Tottenham joke.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
What Kofi's saying about Neves. What you saying, Kof?
Everyone should just leave me alone, man. I'm not even feeling it.
I'm just asking you what you think about Neves. What about Dawson? What about
Dawson? Yeah, what about Dawson? How are you feeling about Dawson?
Man, look, man, everyone leave me alone, man. Just continue with the chat because we're stinking up the place. I don't like where this team is going. We're finishing mid-table for sure. If we get out of this rot and we finish in Champions League position, wow. You know, it would be a reminder of like the 2020-2021 season.
I mean, listen, Wolves. As
what would you prefer? Would you prefer to finish 11th or finish Conference League?
I don't want Europa. I don't want Conference League. We're a Champions League team, and you know.
So what? It's 11th for Champions League, 11th or 4th for you.
If we miss out, then you know, so be it. So be it. But I don't want Conference. I don't want Europa. I don't want any other thing than Champions League or where it is.
How do you explain, Kof? How do you explain that performance? How do you explain that performance against
last season? They were going for the 4 cups.
So yeah.
Last season, you was on
was it last season they were going for the
last
4
season.
cups? Yeah.
The quad bike, man.
How can that happen, man, over a summer? Jeez.
Yeah, but you know, morals can die off like when you're supposed to take the 2 big trophies and things just on the final days just
could it be that the fact that you played a lot of games last season, up to 60 plus games, could that have some adverse effect on the team?
The players are fit enough to play. The players are fit enough to play like 60, 65 games every season. So I don't know what's wrong with that.
Yeah, but then you've got to put the World Cup in that as well. I know you've been poor before the World Cup, but then the World Cup as well.
Well, everybody, but Chile, everybody's in the same boat there. So
if you look at that, right?
Yeah, but then not everyone played 60 games last season.
Yeah, but if you look at Salah, he didn't go to the World Cup. He got a bumper new contract, a huge contract, and you're performing like this. So you got a break in the World Cup. You got a brand new payday. And it's like, yo, I'm not feeling it. Nah, man, you put pen to paper, you better be feeling it. And I think that affected some of them players. If they looked at him and saying, he ain't even doing nothing. He didn't go to the World Cup like I did, got a bumper pay rise like I didn't, and he's not doing his job.
That's what I mean. There's something going on within the team that maybe other players don't like what is actually happening with. Some players, people don't like the Mane sale.
The Mane sale was huge, I think.
You know, and you know it's key when you know players like Mane we played the whole season and don't get the credit. So now it's affecting other players within the team because they're thinking, so what am I going to get when I get to that stage of my career? And it's just having a knock-on effect.
I mean, as you can see from the hair, the drop off this season is unreal.
It's more than double.
You know what I mean, more than double, yeah.
Man.
It's in his minutes per goal. It's like you're taking 254 minutes.
But is he the problem? Because as I say, he's the go-to man. Season after season, he's been that go-to man.
As a senior player, he should be taking on a lot of the responsibility because obviously. You get players like Diaz coming in, and yes, Diaz got injured early part of the season. Nunes, should we even Nunes, whatever you want to say, you know. And I'm not getting that t-shirt. I'm not getting that t-shirt ready, just for everybody's sake. You know, he should be turning up.
Noodles.
Can we stop?
It's mad.
Guys, can we stop this? You know, he should be turning up and he's not even doing anything. What is going on? I don't know.
And you know what, as well, you see when you sign players and the players are chatting about, like, I've always dreamed about playing for Liverpool and rare. And then you walk down the tunnel and you touch the sign, this is at Anfield, and you go out there and stink out the job. Man, you got to be boxing him in his chops.
How can anybody try to touch that sign from now on? Why you no, can you get that off? Can you get
chicken
that off?
noodles, you know.
Can you get that off?
Man,
no.
Sorry, Kof, man. Sorry, man. But yeah, 3-0. Wolves who hardly score.
Right.
It was in practice. And the thing is, Wolves could have been 4-5-0 up in that game.
Honestly, I thought Klopp was gonna. I thought
he was gonna cry. I thought he was gonna. He looked like he wanted to cry, mate. There was an in between. He was just sitting on the bench, and he has this way of just going.
Yeah, he didn't know how to act.
I think even in his post match, a question was posed to him by I can't remember from what publication, and he said, so he's asked a question, and he says, I'd rather not take that question from you. There must have been something that was written why he was not happy about it. And he then went to another journalist and said, you can ask that same question. I'm like, this guy's losing. This guy's losing it big time. Yeah?
He's losing his marbles. He knows it. And I think if we don't win on Saturday, he walks. Or he may walk. I can't say, because it's obviously at that stage where he needs results. He needs some kind of results to assure the board and the fans that, you know, he's still willing to get something out of this team, and the team don't look like they're really there at this stage.
So what, before we move on to the next one, so question for you, Kofi. We talked about you being on the fence. You was on the fence. You said, I'm on the fence with Klopp, yeah? So the big question for me is, have you knocked that fence down, and which side have you fallen on?
Look, Klopp has done what he can do, and I said, look, just walk gracefully and just.
So what are you saying? What are you saying then?
I'm saying Klopp out, but
sorry.
Here's a question. It is a question then. Here's a question with that. If you get the fixer or the scrambler to come in, i.e. Big Sam, does Big Sam get a tune out of that current squad?
What?
Big Sam. No. Because remember, this is the guy that. This is the guy that. Hold on, bro. Let me finish. Let me land. This is the man that comes in.
No, you're taking liberties, D. Don't even try and justify that.
No, bro was the England manager, you know. It was the England manager, you know.
For 24 hours. For 24 hours.
The team that had Ollie at the wheel. The team that had some.
D's taking liberties. How you gonna kick a man when he's down, D?
Don't try that. Just because United are in that top 4 position. Hold
on. Right?
I heard Mourinho wants to come back to the Premiership. Get him.
Would you take him? Would you take him?
Mourinho? Nah. I'm sorry to say. I don't remember. I'll take Tuchel right now. I'll take Tuchel.
Tuchel, yeah. That's a good shot, actually.
Good shot.
Yeah, I'll take Tuchel. Younger, German, high energy, no nonsense. I'll take him right now.
But
that's a good shot, Kofi. That's a good shot.
Tuchel needs money to build that club. If he ain't gonna get it,
and the owners have got a, because there's a level. I think there's a level of Klopp being hung out to dry a little bit when it comes to the owners, because that net spend, you can't have that net spend that low, and you're saying go out and compete.
How many seasons can he go?
If they sell the club, then the new buyers are going to spend, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I look at the net spend since 2015, and you expect him to compete with City. That's not really.
What's the net spend since then?
273, and City's is 716 million. You're nowhere near what City is spending, yet you're saying go and compete with a smaller stadium, so you're not bringing in the money through the ticket sales as what City are, even though they can't really fill the empty ad. But when they fill it, they're making the money. So you look at the gulf between the spend, and he still won 5 major trophies with that gulf in spend. And it could have been
But
more.
how come you
said,
say that to him? D, how come you say that to him? Yet all you lot ever bang on about is Tottenham not having any trophies. We've not spent anything near what you lot have spent to get those trophies.
And that's why you shouldn't have fired Poch. Because Poch was getting you to a Champions League final without spending money. Yet
well,
he got fired.
listen,
so
Mourinho got you to a final.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and you sacked him before he got to the final. I think Mourinho would have won you that final.
Yeah, so do I.
I think Mourinho would have won that final as well.
Yeah, it's mad chilly. And I think this is why football is it's on its head now. I think the Premier League right now is on its head. And if Arsenal
that's why I
win
always
this
say
one,
that we're punching above our weight, because we're in the argument for top 4 all the time, and teams like Everton and West Ham are outspending us.
Yeah,
exactly.
Great point there. Great point. So we've officially today on the 8th of February, Kofi has said Klopp out. Okay.
You're a disgrace,
Kofi.
Oh, look, he's changed his name as well. He's not even Kofi Klopp anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He's been doing
that for a couple of weeks now.
He signed out now.
He signed out, man.
He won everything for you. Did he win? He won everything, didn't he?
Yeah,
he won everything.
FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Champions League, Premier League.
But I think
when was the last time they won Premier League before that, Norman?
I'll shake his hand.
31 years ago.
Yeah.
Disgraceful.
I would shake his hand and say, well done. But time is up, man. I'm done with this thing.
So next week you're going to be coming on with Kofi Kofi Tickle. Yeah. And you know the crazy thing about this, Kofi. Let me quickly before we move on. The crazy thing is that you was arguing with Dave Tickle about who was the better manager out, Tuchel and Klopp. Interesting. We'll leave it at there. We'll just park that there.
Wow.
We'll move on.
We'll actually go there. You know what?
You was
going back to the icons.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I remember. I remember those big arguments, mate. Yeah, I remember. Anyway, let's move on to the game against Chelsea against Fulham. £400 million worth of players at home playing Fulham. Ball draw 0-0. Mudryk gets hooked at half time. According to what people were saying, that he wasn't well, but he didn't have a fantastic game. Paulina for Fulham was fantastic. I think he has one of the most interceptions and tackles in the Premier League. He tops that and ranks.
What is he? CDM normally?
Yeah.
I was chatting about him with my brother. It's someone that we should be looking at to get that red.
And pretty much Fulham have took 4 points off of Chelsea. You know what I mean? It's kind of mad. You know they started with their new signing Fernandes. He started. Yeah, he had a decent game. Not gonna lie, he had a decent game. But I was sort of chatting with Ez on our chat, and I was just saying there's still something about Chelsea. I just don't get there. I can't see their what's the name play, how they play. It's just like I'm not getting it at the moment. Do you know what I mean? I don't see
net spend for the year
play at all. Say that again.
What's their net spend so far for the year?
Who's that? Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think it's around the 500.
Right.
Yeah, it's around the 500 million. Yeah, it's around that. It's insane.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, I think Todd knows they're going to get sanctioned, and it won't matter because he's got all them players already.
Yeah. He's just gone ahead and just
he's batting clever.
Yeah. Because he knows.
And hence a long contract as well. Yeah, 7-8 year contract.
If they do get a transfer ban, he's got all these players in. Listen, the man's over two windows. The man's got 19 players in. That's crazy.
In 2 windows, you know.
Crazy.
See, this is what you need, Kofi. Like I'm not saying 19 players.
I would take half of that.
I'm about to say 10. If you could get 10 players in. But you have to remember, this is what Radnick said about us after the train cast last season. He said they need 8 to 10 players, and everyone laughed at him. And he was correct. Because then now that certain man sideways saying, I can't play you, I can't trust you, you cost me my job. So certain man just holding bench because he needs another 4 players at least to even. That's just to get in the arena to compete. I think we're overachieving this season, and I'll take the overachieving. But Rangnick was right. Everyone was cussing Rangnick, but he was right. Because you put certain man in the team now, the drop off is ridiculous. It's like, yow, we're not competing with this man injured or this man suspended. So yeah, like you, give Klopp 6 men and 4 of them being midfielders, and for me, if you get 4 midfielders and 2 defenders, you're back competing again under Klopp.
Yeah.
Fact. But the owners ain't giving him that kind of piece to spend, and because that piece is about 400 million, Kofi, to do that at least. Definitely. And he ain't getting 400 million to spend, so it's a tough one. Yeah.
Bowley's using the NFL contract style.
Yeah, definitely.
Wreck-It Ralph was the best thing to happen.
It was because he exposed the foolishness.
He exposed it. Exactly. Absolutely.
He exposed all of it.
Absolutely.
And talk out the things that they would say.
So we move on to oh gosh. Everton 1, Arsenal 0. Sean Dyche. We just didn't compete. I didn't get to see the whole game. I only saw half the game, and based on what I saw, I said there's only one winner here, and it was going to be a small gap. It wasn't going to be lots of goals because Everton haven't really got goal scorers, but we just didn't compete. And Tchaikovsky if you pronounce his name, gets the goal. Listen, I'm like, why haven't we got somebody on this guy? You've got Odegaard who just literally just got moved out the way, and the guy comes and heads it in at the far post. Yeah, they were chucking in these corners or set pieces in at the far post, and we still couldn't work that out. And Tchaikovsky goes and does that. A Dice ex-player who used to play for Burnley, and the guy that supplied him the thingy, what's the name, Neil, also an ex-Burnley player. It had to be Dice ball. But the question is, can the Gunners bounce back from this? That is the big question. Can we bounce back from this? Okay. No. What's your reason? What's your reason for saying that? Why we can't bounce back from this?
Because I hate them.
Okay, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. At least you're honest. At least you're honest. Listen, Onana absolutely bullied us. Onana, what's the guy's name? Who also plays in that midfield? What's the guy's name? What's the people that played in that midfield? Let me just quickly remind myself. Gay, Trezeguet, and Decore. Literally, they were everywhere.
Man like Iwobi as well.
Yeah, they were.
But you know what, Norms? If you look at, I reckon Clive Lewin missed 3 sitters in that game.
Yeah,
just because he's rusty or he ended up to play.
We could have probably been 2 or 3-0 down.
And I'm like, this brother can't buy a goal. But then you have to remember how injured he's been and how out of sync he is. But if he hadn't been injured and got maybe 10 Premier League games under him, I reckon he would have taken at least 3 of those 4 misses. No, 2 of those 4 misses he would have scored. Because you can see how close they were. It was like, yo, this match is out of sync, innit?
Yeah. And Nketiah from, I don't know what it was, 8 yards out. Yeah, he landed in Anfield. Definitely, that landed in Anfield. Absolutely.
Yeah, but you're number 14. How you mean? He's wearing Thierry Henry's shirt. What are you saying?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That chance Nketiah had. Now, give that to Nunes. Nunes does the same.
That's the same thing.
What, is that what you're telling me? That he's got to be 8 yards out to score a goal, coach?
Nunes has been getting sitters in front of goal 5 yards out.
And I mean, what about your Gakpo guy? What's going on with him?
Gakpo hits them in the other stand.
Wait, Gakpo. So the Gakpo thing, right? Apparently, what's
Koeman.
Van der Sar.
Oh,
Van der Sar told him to wait till the summer and go to Man United, but he was eager to get out of it.
Koeman said said that it might have been the wrong move, too early for him to go to Liverpool.
Yeah, he was told to wait till the summer.
Time for like Dutch players to settle, and because Liverpool are not playing at the level that they're meant to be, that's going to have an adverse effect on Gakpo.
Yeah.
It looks like it's had an adverse effect on the whole club, by the way. Looks
but,
at him.
but normally he comes into a team without a pre-season with that team, and the team is struggling and expected to hit the ground running. That's a very hard thing to do. Yeah. Not only that, you're moving to a new city, you're dragging your family there, your missus ain't really feeling, because up there rains, Manchester, Liverpool.
But this is the thing.
So all the factors.
Klopp never makes hash decisions to buy players. So this is another thing that I'm thinking he's losing his marbles. Because why is he buying players like that?
But was it a Klopp buy?
Well, the question is, I think it might be because the way things are going, it looks like Klopp is doing all the buying, and his assistant.
Our assistant is doing all the coaching.
So yeah, so you know what I mean.
So maybe he lets the assistant do the buying, and he starts coaching the team again. Because you remember when Ollie gave that interview about
that was the talk
about not coaching the team. That's like, get him out of here. From time you're going to tell me you ain't coaching the team, and we're doing that foolishness out there. So why are we paying you all this money? You know what I'm saying? Why am I paying you all this money if you're telling me that you're not coaching the team? That makes no sense to me. Like, Klopp's on money, Kofi.
Yeah.
He's on good piece, man.
He did some smart business for himself in terms of taking a new contract, extending his contract, and getting a bigger piece of the pie, knowing that it's an insurance for him. Because if he walks, he gets paid.
And he said he wasn't going to walk, 2 weeks ago. He said that he feels like he's done enough at Liverpool not to have to walk. If the management and the fans and the players feel like I'm not the guy, then cut me loose and give me my money. He's saying that. He's not saying that, but that's what he's saying.
But he's saying that.
He's saying that indirectly.
Yeah, I mean, it's currently now a chess game between the owners and Klopp, because he knows he's in a good position, and the ownership know that they have to shell out the money either way. If they're going to get him to the end of the season and start reinvesting in the players in the club, then they have to shell out the money that way, or find a new owner and do it whatever way that's going to be best for Liverpool. So yeah.
Just going back to the Everton Arsenal game, I suppose bringing in Dyche, it looks like it's a good move, a good fit for Everton. What it will do is get these guys solid again. Dyche is, anytime we play, I mean, basically, Arteta's never beaten Dyche as a manager. Yeah.
Really?
So the thing is, and the last time we won at Everton was back in 2017. Would you believe it? Yeah.
But the thing is, as you remember, Burnley was always a tough place to go.
Yeah.
Especially if you had a Monday night game there in Burnley, you'd be like, Lord of mercy.
Yeah. Oh no,
we're gonna come and stuck here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they know how to grit out. And not only that, these guys they got a bit of that skullduggery in them, man. Like,
they're quite a big side. They're quite physical. That Onana, should I say? He looks a player. I mean, I think they spent 30-odd million on him, and he was linked with us in the January window, but he said he wants to stay and fight, with Everton to keep them up. And I suppose the big question is can Dyche keep up this side? I mean, judging by if he gets his team playing to that level, gets them back, playing solid, and because one thing about Everton under Frank Lampard, they ship goals like nobody's business.
Yeah.
You could see that they were more organised, and they were literally from the kickoff. They had the fans behind them. They were in our face. We just couldn't compete with them. Every second ball was losing, and it just looked like Arsenal all just getting bullied. These guys are big players, but we've got big players as well. So I don't know, but you can't have at the back post. You can't have Odegaard, as somebody said in the chat, Odissoff, trying to defend against Tchaikovsky. You know what I mean? Because look at the size of the guy compared to him. You should have put either Saliba on him or Gabriel Magalhaes on him. But for whatever reason, and they kept doing that. They kept throwing that long ball from the corners to the back post, and we messed out on it. And in the end, we conceded, and we go and lose that game. Typical 1-0 to Mr. Dyche. So I suppose the two questions is: can Dyche get these guys out of a relegation zone and get them competing again? They're probably the amount of points that they've conceded. They'll if he gets them playing the way he wants, working hard and everything, they'll probably.
Yeah. Well, looking at the table, Norm, the bottom three is in Everton, Bournemouth, and Southampton. Have only won 4 games out of 21. So that percentage is crap. Southampton are on a minus 21 goal difference. Yeah. Bournemouth are on minus 24. Everton are on a minus 12. So that's the only thing in their favour right now.
Yeah,
that they're not in the 20s when it comes to goal difference. Then the two above them, which is Leeds and West Ham, are minus 8. Wolves are minus 15.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Look at the ground it goes Wolves shit. Yeah. And they still went and slapped and they've done their goal difference as well. They're good because they went and slapped three past Liverpool. So
so if they'd drawn that game, they would have been minus 18 like Forest.
Yeah. But so I think Sean will definitely get Everton out of that relegation zone because listen, they've never. I think them and us have never been relegated from the top level of football. So I don't think it's going to probably happen this season. But I think probably if Frank Lampard, I mean, some people like Sean Dyche, some people don't. But if Frank Lampard was there, I think they would have wanted Frank to be relegated. I'm sure you would have probably wanted
get him out of there because it's always entitlements.
You know what I'm saying?
Goes through entitlements. But Norm, who replaces Everton? Because for me, I think Bournemouth and Southampton are done out here.
Yeah, they're done. It's Leeds. Leeds are falling like a lead balloon. I mean, if you look at the table,
play them tonight.
Yeah. And the thing is, somebody said in the chat, if you actually win this game tonight, you go level on points with Man City.
Wow.
Is it?
Are you in a title race? Are you in a title race?
Oh yeah, and they have a game in hand.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you're going to be doing.
I think the suspensions and the injuries are telling on us now.
Yeah.
I'm watching heavy legs out there, and I look at this game because this game tonight is from week 8. It's a catch-up game for us again from game week 8.
That's the game that was.
So we go level, and they have a game in hand over us.
Yeah,
you guys will have 2 games in hand over us.
Yeah.
But you guys have no Casemiro tonight.
No, for 3 games.
I mean,
he misses both Leeds games, and I think it's Leicester. So we play Leeds twice and Leicester without him.
Yeah.
And then it's cup final,
and that's the reason why.
But he's back. He's back for the cup final, though.
Yeah, that's the reason why, Kofi. Yeah, that's the reason.
But no, don't even get into this.
Why are you strangling Reed? Why, Casemiro? Why are you doing that? But you naughty boy. You naughty boy.
I look at that, right? That's the wrong. That's definitely the wrong place to try and restrain a man. There was no need for that. And the thing is, it is a red card in a sense of if you're going by the letter of the law, as in raising your hands. But at least 6 men raised their hands to their opponents. So we should have sent 6 of them off. He bottled it. He just picked one incident and zoomed in on that. And I look at that and I say, nah, bro. Anthony should have gone.
How you guys should have gone as well.
The thing is,
Ten Hag did have a point. Ten Hag did have a point to say, why are you just picking on Casemiro?
Did VAR step in and look at that particular incident other than the others?
VAR looked at it and said to my man to go over and look at the monitor.
No, if you watch the game, right, after the handbags at the bases calms down, right, he's pushing people away. There's a referee. He calls Anthony. He calls who took him out. I can't remember who took Anthony out with that dirty tackle. Anyway,
it was the guy that
I forgot his name now.
Oh, what's his name?
Slop. Right, he calls them over. Yeah. He yellow cards both of them, and then he's going to continue with the game, and then he stops on the earpiece. All right, what's going on here now? And the next minute, he said, no, wait. And then he goes. So VAR, he's already calmed everyone down and give back 2 yellow cards. VAR said, nah, man, you're going to make it more interesting. Send somebody off. Go look at the monitor and see what you see out of all that handbags and 10 paces. But look at Casemiro, though. His hands around his shoulders, around his neck, wherever you want to say. Get him out of there, ref. Get him out of there. Make it interesting. Trust me, there's an agenda against us, man. Not really us. Ten Hag. They don't want Ten Hag to sit the season. Trust me.
There ain't no agenda. The man's strangling someone on the pitch in front of 60,000 people.
Listen, Chili.
There ain't no agenda.
Chili, the letter of the law says if you raise your hands above your shoulders to a man, it's a red card.
Yeah.
At least 6 players did that. Get 6 of them out of there, not just Casemiro. That's my
I believe there's a Casemiro.
Yes, 6 of them out of there, bro.
There's a big Casemiro agenda.
You always see people pushing and shoving.
Yeah, but
there's
at least 3 or 4 of them in this, you know. Man's getting pushed in his face, pushed in his neck. I watched the whole game. Send 6 man off and make it whatever against whatever. 8 against 8, not 8 against 8, whatever, 7 against 7 or whatever it was. Can't do my maths now. But 3 on each side should have gone.
Casemiro should get another 3 yellow.
But this is the thing.
Listen, Adbong Lahore, ex-Aston Villa player, came out on Talk Sport, and he
really can't take himself.
I'm going to say what he said. He said,
"Yeah, go on."
Oh, Casemiro, he should have gone to prison for that. There's young people watching this game. Yeah, that's what he said. He's right.
I think that's a little extreme.
But this is the problem when these pundits smoke weed and then go onto the TV stations, right? Because their judgment is so ridiculous. Because this is the thing, I don't know if you guys know this, that if United appealed this, right, and the FA dig their, say if they appeal this and say, well, he just picked on one player.
Said they're not going
right?
to appeal it.
No, they're not. But if they did, because they want him for these 3 games, the FA would add another game just so that he misses the cup final.
Yeah, but is what he did, is that worse than what Suarez did?
Exactly.
No, what Suarez did was worse.
What when he bit somebody's shoulder, a chunk out of somebody's shoulder?
Yeah. He bit Ivanovic's is it the arm? And he got, what did he get for that? He got 10 games.
Right, but this is the thing, right? Yeah. If you watch Match of the Day, right, Lineker, Shearer, and Ian Wright, they all said that's a soft red card. All 3 of them said it on Match of the Day, and I was like, because that you can't just pick one incident out of all that brawling and say, okay, look at him. He says, get them all out of there. Ian Wright said it as well, get them all out of it. Everyone that raised their hands and put hands on the next guy, get them out. And if you're down to 5 aside, then so be it. But the referee bottled it. He wants to make a name for himself. You go for a high-profile player, which is Casemiro. He knows that United just played different with Kaz in that team. Get him out of there for 3 games. But then he's fresh for the cup final. So is that a blessing in disguise?
Well, quickly, let's just move on. Brentford 3, Southampton 0. Southampton are goners.
They're out there, aren't they?
Their manager came out after that game and he was chatting some. Well, I don't know what he was chatting. He was chatting breeze. He was sort of saying, "Oh yeah." It was just crazy. He was saying, like, you know, if I've got to play the way I want to play. I shouldn't be forced into the corner the way I play my football. And he's almost like he was trying to blame the players of that. You're not good enough. It's as simple as that. You're not good enough, and he's probably going to be the next one to be axed. Yeah, because he wants to play his style of game, but he's been told he can't. And it was just kind of crazy when you heard his post-match interview. I think even Ian Wright, they asked Ian Wright, and Ian Wright's like, just go out there and manage the team and stop the excuses. As simple as. You're the manager, you manage the players. Don't let the players dictate to you. You dictate to the players how you want to play. But there's this.
No, but it happens a lot, though, Norm. You remember when Ralph was there and the man just saying, we call this in the training at 5:30 in the evening and we ain't having it. You're like, bro, you know how much money you're on a week? Whenever this man needs you to train, you come and train. We ain't having it. It's 5:30 at night. It's dark now. Bit cold out there. Don't fancy it. Yeah. And this is what football's become. Prima donnas on way too much money that ain't even won anything yet. What have you won in the game to tell this man that you ain't training at 5:30 in the evening?
Yep.
That's like me ringing my controller tonight and saying at 9:30, saying, "Listen, bro, my car's frosted over. I ain't coming in." Allow it. They're gonna fire my ass. Simple. I'm out of it.
Simple things.
You know what I mean?
The thing is, they're only training for 3 hours.
Exactly, bro.
3 hours. You can't give up 3 hours of your time to
and the money you get. Exactly. How good it is to go out and kick, as my dad would say, a bag of wind around, and get paid a whole heap of money. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I'm still
trying to get to terms with the 400k a week for De Bruyne, but move on.
Take a strong drink for that. Quickly,
That's
Wolves,
one.
we've already spoke about Wolves, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Kofi's already said Klopp out, so we know that. Man United, obviously, we kind of got into a little bit of the game. Casemiro getting sent off that game. You had to play with 10 men. You had managed to hold on, beat Crystal Palace 2-1 in that game. Again, your Marcus Rashford still scoring at the place.
Yeah, man, like Marcus, boy.
And doing the business. And also Bruno Fernandes getting a penalty in the 7th minute. So you go on and win that game.
Do you not hate his penalty, Norm?
Huh?
Do you not hate the way he takes penalties? I can't stand it, mate. It winds me up.
I can't take the man full stop. When he takes penalties, I can't take the man full stop. You know what I'm saying? Can't take the man full
hop,
stop.
skip, and jump foolishness. I'm like, what are you doing, bro?
Well, don't worry. We got Jorginho doing that for us now.
He scores every time.
No, he doesn't score every time. He's missed a few,
mate. He doesn't score every time. Exactly.
He's missed a few.
He only missed one.
For me, right? The way Harry Class A and Alan Shearer take penalties is how you're supposed to take penalties. Head down and just blast that top corner, bottom corner, whatever. This hop, skip, and jump foolishness, trying to roll it up through the goalkeeper's legs. I'm like,
would you put Ivan Toney? Would you put Ivan Toney in there?
Ivan as well, yeah. But Harry Kane, Ivan Toney, Alan Shearer. That's how you're supposed to take penalties, man.
Yeah.
Because I say when he misses them, it looks like a clown when you miss that penalty. That foolishness. But yeah, that's just my little.
Just quickly, Brighton 1, Bournemouth 0. As I said, Bournemouth, they're going to be probably other team that are going to end up going down.
1 point for that, Norm.
Yeah, I know. Your face ache. But this Matoma guy again scoring for Brighton. Listen, we've been linked with him.
He's on fire, man.
He's on fire. 25 years old, but he scored again in the 87th minute, just doing the business. I think he done the same thing against Liverpool.
I think he scored
Gomez. He
sent Gomez down the shot.
Yeah. He pulled a goal Gomez on him, innit?
Unbelievable. And this,
you know what? He did Trent so many times in that game as well. Yeah. He skinned him.
Yeah.
The guy
he's super.
He banana skinned him. He run him into the ground.
No, this guy is super quick. I mean, listen, they spent 3 million, 4 million on this guy. Come the summer, you're talking. I don't even know the club he comes from. I don't even know the club he comes from.
It's like the man disappeared, you know.
I think he was playing for some Japanese university team, apparently.
Oh, wow.
That's what I heard. Yeah, but listen, Brighton, they're scouting.
He's balling right now,
on another level. And I think if this guy
they're scouting,
gets picked up if he gets picked up in the summer, man, whoa. He's going to be going for some good money. And so Brighton end up winning that game 1-0, and they're doing really well in the table because they're sitting currently 6th in the table
with 2 games in hand over Spurs.
Exactly, 2 games in hand over Spurs.
They win those games, they go above us.
Exactly. That's what Chile said to me the other day. If they win those 2 games, they go above them.
I just saw that, you know.
You got Liverpool in. I don't even know. I mean, and Brighton have done the double over Liverpool, right? I don't know. I just don't know. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't know.
They done a double over Gomez.
They beat you twice. I thought Brighton beat you twice.
No, only once.
They did. Welbeck done Gomez, and then this guy
we
done
drew against them at Anfield.
Did he draw?
Yeah.
You sure?
We drew 3-3.
He didn't draw. You lost 2-1.
Oh, yeah, they did. It's right, because Trossard scored an hat-trick.
3-3.
Trossard scored an hat-trick. Yeah, just remembered. Yeah. But there's a team that's done the double over you, though, Kofi. What team is it?
I don't know.
I'm sure there's a team that's done the double over you. I'm sure of it.
Like who?
I don't know.
We got 2 games over Spurs.
I know we've done the double over Tottenham. I remember that very clearly. I know that for a fact. but I don't. I'm sure
remember that.
We've done the double. I remember that. Don't worry about
that. I just remember Everton beating you.
Oh, shut up, brother. Shut up. So listen.
That's all I remember. My memory don't go back that far.
Aston Villa to Leicester 4. Leicester do a comeback.
That was a good game, man.
What a game. You're thinking, Aston Villa at home, they're doing really well under Unai Emery. But Leicester come back and do the business. I'm not going to go into every single goal, but yeah, they come back and win that. I mean, Leicester are currently sitting in 14th place on 21 points with a -5 goal difference. Listen, Leicester, I don't think they'll get pulled into the relegation zone. I think it's probably out of between, I'd say Leeds, West Ham could get sucked back in there.
That's 16.
Possibly Wolves. Possibly,
Wolves as well.
I mean, going up to what separates Everton in 18th on 18 points, and Liverpool on 11 points. Liverpool more closer to the relegation zone than they are to top 4.
Yeah, they are, man. Isn't it?
No, they're not. Because I think if you work that out, 29, 30, my maths, they're actually much closer. But I like to kind of put that in there. I kind of like to put that in football.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
How it is. I can't say anymore.
Yeah. So just quickly move. So Aston Villa lose that game 4-2 at home. West Ham, Newcastle seem to be drawing a lot of games now. They've kind of dropped off a little bit. Paqueta equalising in the 32nd minute. Callum Wilson with a goal in the 3rd minute, and then Lucas Paqueta getting the goal to equalise and draw the game 1-1. So Newcastle starting to draw a lot of games.
Yeah, they're drawing the most games in the top 10 now.
Right. So
as in 10 games.
I suppose the question is, for the chat and for you guys on the panel, do you think that Newcastle will sustain that top 4 position, or do you think that they might miss out on top 4?
Boy, I'm thinking that Tottenham or even Brighton might be able to draw them out of there.
Yeah.
Because 10 draws is a lot, isn't it?
It is.
10 draws. I mean, they got a decent goal difference. Their goal difference is plus 22.
Yeah.
So the goal difference is better than United.
They've done that in the early part of the season.
It's better than United, better than Tottenham, better than Brighton, better than Brentford.
Yeah.
So, but the 10 draws, that hurts them.
Nottingham Forest 1, Leeds 0. After that game, Jesse Marsh gets sacked. Somebody said it in the chat. Who's going to take on that role? It's a good proposition to have. I think they're linked with the West Brom manager. I can't remember his name. So we'll see what happens with that. But Nottingham Forest are doing well. I mean, they went for a period where I thought they were going to get relegated, but they've really done well under their manager, and they end up winning that game 1-0. And then we go on to Chili's favourite game. And Chili, I want to publicly say thank you. We've
really
really
spoken about Everton Arsenal, haven't we?
No, I'm talking about Tottenham Man City.
Oh, that was my second favourite.
Right, so Tottenham 1, Man City 0. Chili, take it away, brother.
That's what we do. Tell Harry Kane, put your boots on, son, it's time, and he goes out and scores.
I'm Harry.
You saw that. Listen, we didn't just beat them, we dominated them.
Absolutely. 100%.
Haaland didn't have a touch in our box or a shot on target. That's the first time this season that's happened.
Yeah, you might shut down.
Romero put that reducer on him early on, said, look, hold that. Don't get too close to my box, otherwise you gotta get the next one. And he didn't fancy it.
And sometimes that's what has to happen, Do
you want to read that?
Right.
Do you want to read that one?
You, man, I don't want to hear no more chicken royale. Emerson bossed the back or the midfield. He bossed it.
There's just a chat there from Scott. You just want to read that there, too. And that's what I want to thank
children
you.
Children always make silly decisions. That's why you've got to be a good parent until they're at least 18.
But I really publicly want to say on this platform, on this forum, thank you so much for doing the job on Man City. But somebody said earlier in the chat that Man City just don't see themselves. But Tottenham literally dominated them. They were leaving so much space behind the back. It was just literally counter after counter. I mean, Tottenham could have scored more goals. Yeah, they could have scored more goals. As I said, Haaland Haaland didn't have a touch of the ball, and he was. You could see he was frustrated.
Yeah, but the question was, why didn't City play De Bruyne from the onset?
There's a stuff going on. I'm telling you, on the field and off the field, there's stuff going on.
And Foden
is not even in the. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know if he's injured. I don't know what's
going
on.
He's been shocking though, isn't he? Foden.
He's got
since the World Cup. I think he's been shocking.
It's crazy. You know, the people that he had on the bench was unbelievable. Diaz, did he have Diaz on the bench?
You know, some people say that Pep's trying to be too cute. You know what I mean? It's like
why is he leaving all these? Why is he leaving all these players? I don't get it. He's left Diaz on the bench.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's like you don't fancy these mans anymore.
Good, the one on the bench, De Bruyne, madness.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Laporte. I don't know. He's decided, and what's his name took care of him.
And he let Cancelo go.
Exactly, and not only that, actually, he left. What's his name? Not left on. He actually started the game, for Man City, and that was that Lewis guy. He had Lewis playing. I think he was playing as an inverted midfield. Right. Yeah, he was playing. But Kulusevski just said, "Boy, what you doing? Behave yourself." That man, and the thing is, he was getting dominated, and he still didn't take him off.
But that's Pep.
So
Pep stubborn.
Don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on with Pep. I don't know if it's the stuff that's going on the field with regards to their breaches and all of that. We just don't know. But it's just strange the way he's managed to decide. And not only that, Gary Neville has come out and said basically, look, you know, he was writing us off and saying, look, Man City will go and do a 10-game, 15-game run. At the moment, I can't see any evidence of Man City going on any run right now. I don't see any evidence of that right now. And so for me, to Man United, 1-0 to Leeds. You're joking.
Boy,
Casemiro, where are you?
These fans are going mad there, bro.
Whoa.
These fans are going to tear up.
Let's not speak too early. But I said this Premier League, you cannot just turn up and think, I think Arsenal turned up and thought, Everton in relegation zone, blah, blah, blah. Listen, new manager bounce.
First minute, you know.
First minute. Whoa.
Patrick Bamford.
D, you was the one that said it on the chat earlier on. New manager bounce. You said it. He hasn't got a new manager. They haven't got a new manager bounce, but they got a temporary manager bounce.
Actually, no. The assist was from Bamford. A guy called Wilfred Ganotti.
He's a black guy.
Black brother. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic, quick, strong Italian.
Yeah, the way
very good player.
The way you hit that, man.
Very good player. Listen, I still think Man United will probably go on and win the game. Yeah, but it's just a wake-up call for your side. So it's just crazy. So listen, we've actually pretty much come to the end because we've covered about Man City. I said about whether Arsenal will bounce back after Chile thinks that we won't because he can't stand us. But our next game is against Brentford at home this Saturday at 3:00. We have to win that game to put any pressure on Man City. We need to win.
Tony's gonna dominate you.
Well, we're playing at home. Let's see what happens. I think with playing. I mean, listen, we've got the best home and away.
Tony breaks at the Emirates. Nice.
Yeah, man. So let's see what happened, and that takes us nicely onto the what's going on prediction league table. So let me just quickly reveal that, and I will ask you guys to look at your games coming up this weekend. Game week 21. Please give me. Yes. Let me do that. Thank you so much for that, Craig. I will do that. What's there? Let's just quickly touch this. I just want to. D's got in there quick, man. That guy's a joker, you know.
Yeah, look at that game.
That's what I'm saying. This guy is a joker. He's a joker. But anyway, listen. Yeah, but
I could have picked Man City. I could have picked Man City.
It's too late now, bro.
No, I'm saying Man City.
Yeah. Who's Man City played?
They got the game week, Man City. Yeah, they got double game weekend. They Villa and someone else.
And they got Villa at home.
I'm gonna tell you now.
They got Villa and then they're away to Arsenal.
They got double game.
So
week,
just to
yeah.
say,
Home to Villa and away to Arsenal.
Massive condolences to the families in Turkey and Syria.
Man.
I mean, the death toll is unbelievable right now, and it's still rising. So, our prayers go out to every single person, families that have lost loved ones. I was also reading that the ex-player I think I posted it on the chat, guys. He used to play for Newcastle, got pulled out of the rubble.
Yes,
he's playing for a Turkish side. Actually, a Ghanaian player. Kofi. He got pulled out the rubble. But apparently, their sporting director still hasn't been found. And this is from the club. So, listen, our prayers. Thank you very much for that, Craig, for just reminding me. Really do go out. Thoughts and prayers do go out to the people that have lost loved ones and those that are in the hospital. That they will have a speedy recovery. Let me just finish off with the prediction league table, just to share with you how everybody is doing. And if I just put it in there, so I didn't even see what Chile. I don't even know what Chile's probably gone for Man City. He's playing the cute game. So as you can see, people in the chat, Big D is on 22 points.
Come on.
With 20 games played, because obviously we had to miss out in the first game. Chile on 14 points. If my maths are right, that's 8 points behind Big D. So if Newcastle could probably end up drawing their game this weekend, because they seem to be drawing a lot of games. I think whatever team that Chile, who did he go for? Chile, sorry, who did he go for? Man City.
Man City. Yeah.
I would expect what? You lie. I know you did put Villa 3-0, but I would expect. This would be an interesting one, but I would expect Chile definitely to close the gap on Big D.
I'm not so sure. I'll tell you why I'm not so sure.
I would have closed it this week, but he teased my pick, didn't he?
What about teasing your pick?
And my score.
My Lord.
Right. So as you can see, Ez is in third place on 12 points. He didn't join us tonight because obviously he had other
not in the books, man.
Kofi on 10 points, and Normski still in that UEFA League position. But as I said, just still riding that crest of a wave, and that's what's all important. To do that, it's all important to just ride, man. Just ride.
But the thing is, Norm, you know your man in danger.
You fall off. You didn't wax them.
There was this big wave. It's called the Daesh wave. Yeah, that licked us. That licked us properly, bro. You know what I mean?
Listen. You still got some of those tough games like that to come.
Oh yeah, we're way to Liverpool. That's going to be really tough, isn't it? Right? Yeah. How many points are we behind you? How many points are you behind us, Cove? Did you work it out? Just quick, have a look. Just check it out.
21,
mate.
You want to say it a bit louder? Do you want to say it a bit louder?
That's mad, you know.
No, look at the camera and say, don't look down. Look at the camera.
21.
21 points.
21 points, brother.
Ooh.
So let me go. I don't know if Kofi has put in his pick. So Chile has gone for Man City 3, Aston Villa 0. D's gone with Newcastle 2, Bournemouth 0.
Yep.
Oh, is that what you've gone for?
Yeah.
D.
Yeah, 2-0 Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm not going to go with the Crystal Palace, man, because they. Oh, jeez. Oh gosh. Leicester, Tottenham.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Fulham. I'm gonna go with the Fulham. I'm gonna go with Fulham. Fulham 2-0
against Forest.
Against Nottingham Forest, yeah, because they're playing at home.
Craven Cottage.
Who's Brighton? Brighton got.
Brighton away to Palace.
Yeah.
Brighton away to Palace. I'll choose Tottenham. Whoever Tottenham.
Okay. Tottenham are away to Leicester.
Tottenham away to Leicester.
Yeah. Choose that.
What's the score you're going for? And then put it in the chat.
Yeah. We'll do.
Yeah, what's the score though, brother?
I'm thinking. Wow.
I know you're a bit traumatized by the Wolves game, but don't worry.
2-2.
2-2.
A Desmond.
What do you mean 2-2?
Man's game with a Desmond. Man's game with a Desmond. 2-2. Okay, so what we'll do is
I'm glad you guys beat you now.
I know.
Relax.
So I know. Chili and Big Deer put their things in. So Kofi, straight after the show, please put your one. I will put my one in, and then we'll remind Ez to put his one in and that. But But tonight, at the moment, Leeds are winning 1-0 at the moment.
Yeah.
Brighton 1-0 Lukonga effects. That's what my man's going for, Scott. Under the tutelage of Mr. Patrick Vieira. Can he make this guy into a great midfielder? Let's see. But listen, guys, thank you so much for taking part. Big up to everyone. I want to especially say big up to Scott, who's in New Zealand, who's talking to us in the future. What time is it there now, Scott, in New Zealand? What time is it there? Just give us a time. And is it now the 9th of February? Is it now the 9th of February? Is it now Thursday? If so, what time is it? It should be, because I remember him telling us what the time is. Put it in the chat. I just want to see what time it is over there. And are you talking to us in the future? So, yeah, if you can do that before I end the show. But I'd like to thank everybody that's actually come. Yes, Junior is just saying his condolences to... Oh, hold on. Yes, my condolences to those there. My daughter, Dion, flew into Turkey today with the grandkids, landed safely and back on their way to Bangladesh safe. Okay. Yeah. Hope she gets back safe and everything, Junior. Yeah, it's 9:15 a.m. Thursday morning. So big up to you, Craig. Absolutely big up to you. I think as a treat, Scott, as a treat, the next time you come on, if you're definitely in the chat, I'm going to put the link in. I need to talk to you live. Is that okay with you, lads? For Scott to come on and have a little quick chat with us.
It should come true.
This man is giving up his time and everything to talk to us across the other side of the world. So big up to you, Scott, for doing that. And also big up to everybody else, Junior, Craig, and everybody that's watching. And smash that like button, hit that like button, subscribe and share. If you're new, as I said, we are on the road to 300. Listen, people, take care. God bless, and we will see you on the next What's Going On podcast. And Kofi, don't worry, Klopp will do the rebuild.